We're officially in the week of Thanksgiving, and what better time to be appreciative and thankful for the things we have and hold off on the things that we covet just for a little while. So with that in mind, I am going back to another palette that I already own, the Renaissance from ABH. There's a very good chance that you own this too, because these palettes are very, very popular. So I've done 3 variations of a look. They are not entirely different, but one would be a look you wear to family dinner, one would be a look you might wear to friends dinner, and one something you would wear, maybe like this, to dinner out at a restaurant, which is a glorious thing that I think everybody needs to try once in their life. And the other interesting thing about this video is this palette is on my eyes, my cheeks, and my lips. So if you want to see 3 variations of a look using this palette all over the face and, have like 20 minutes of veg out time for this very busy week, keep on watching. I'm the Hooded Lid, and welcome to my channel. We're going to start with a more casual look, something you might wear for family dinner. And I'm going to go in with this color all over the lid. This is such a pretty color, and it's a great neutral for every day. The lids, as usual, have some foundation on them, and I'm kind of feeling around the orbital bone. Maybe I won't go all over the lid. A big fluffy brush with this color here, and the idea is I'm going to make a nice large haze. So be sure to knock some of this off. If you're not familiar with this palette, it's a little dusty. And just a light hand. There was some crepiness here that things didn't blend out very well on, so I'm going to kind of hit that with my finger, and that will often take care of it. But this color I want to see when the eyes are open, and then slowly bring it onto the lid. Same brush, translucent powder, and buff away. Don't worry, we'll get there. If your eyes start to water, by the way, when you're doing your makeup, just kind of take a Q-tip before it gets all over the place. Same Q-tip. Now this has still left a little bit of a haze there, but it's taken everything down a little bit. And I'm just going to take my finger and make sure that line isn't as hard left by the Q-tip. And just keep on going until it looks nice and soft. Going to go in with a bigger fluffy brush and this color. There. So I feel like I have taken this down enough for a family dinner. This is the basic dinner with your family look. I would normally do some liner here and a tight line and mascara, but my eyes are watery today. I can feel the congestion in the back of my throat, and I just want to give my eyes a few minutes to settle down before I continue there. So I'm going to continue with my face. A little powder here, and I'm just generally going to do the cheek area because I'm going to go in with blush, and I don't want anything to skip or get too harsh. I used a different sunscreen today that I think I miscalculated the mix. It feels a little heavy on my skin. It feels a little sticky, so I don't want to take chances. I personally don't like to powder my face when the foundation just goes on. I would like it to settle in first, but that's just me. After I put on my foundation, I did put something on my lips. I can't find it. It's the Kopari, but a chapstick would do fine. Something that's a little conditioning, not too oily, just to let it all sink in, and it will come in handy for when we get to the lips. But let's do little cheeks. We are going to use, as promised, the palette. I am wearing lavender, which has blue undertone, so I'm going to go in with this, the same color that I used on the eyes. I am using a very big eyeshadow brush, huge fluffy brush. If you have something like that, good way to go. And I'm taking off the excess on my hand. You can always build. And then I go in with my regular brush, just to make sure. Everything is blended. Now I'm going to go in with the very same color on my lips. So my lips already have the Kopari on it. Take a clean finger, because you don't want to get whatever product is on your lips into your powders. But I'm going to go with the same color. It's a lovely berry stain now. If you feel it's a little too much, you could go in a little more with this product, or whatever the product was used on your lips, and thin it out. Well, and you can also get a glossy look out of this if that's something that you like. And the color now is a little more sheer, a little more family friendly, but something really cool about doing something like this is it does stain your lips a little bit, and after all, it is Thanksgiving. You're going to be eating. So it makes sense not to fuss around too much with a lipstick that's just going to come off when you get into your turkey or your gravy, or even a matte lipstick, which could do the same thing. Something like a stain will give you some color so you don't look like you're dead, but it's not going to get incredibly messy when you start to eat. So if we're going to keep to this palette, and we just want to emphasize the eyes a teeny bit more, we could do something like this color. It's just enough to give some emphasis to the eyelashes without looking too much. And I never go past the pupil. I kind of stop right at the highest point of the eye, meaning the highest point of its roundness, which is about right here. I'm just going to take the brush I used for the blush, if there's anything left, to get some of that pinkness up here for a little punch. And for me, this is a great family dinner look. It's not too much, but it's a little playful, and I really like it. Now, if you're going to a friend's house, I think you can have a little more fun, especially if it's mostly adults, where it's just a bunch of adults getting together. The drinking is a little bit more, and the table discussion can be a lot more lively, because they are, after all, your friends, so you don't have any things that we aren't going to talk about here, because it's not the right place. But I do like to have a little bit more fun with my makeup in that case. This color that we just lined with, it is gorgeous. In fact, I've used this color more than anything in the palette because it's a great one and done. It has some movement to it, so it doesn't look dead, as you will see. Look at how pretty that is. And I think it's a flattering color on almost any kind of skin tone and eye color. I don't know if you can see that movement is so, it's just a really pretty color. And just that little bit of darkness around the eyes, I think, has punched it up a little bit. But for me, I also feel that it has pulled down a little bit, so I want to bring some more of the red color and pull it out this way. So back to Love Letter. Uh-oh. I got fallout all over my face because I didn't knock off that other one. Okay, we'll get to it. It's kind of a triangle from the top to the eyebrow down here. Now I'm just going to do a nice blend. I am going to go in with this liner. I prefer the Urban Decay, but I can't find it. And I just find that the Urban Decay doesn't transfer as much But I've had good luck with this in the past too, so something's going on. I think maybe I shouldn't open my eyes all the way for a solid 2 minutes after putting this on. And again, you can stop right where we are now and not do the liner. Now I think we're getting into going out to a restaurant. I love going out to a restaurant for Thanksgiving. The first time I did it, didn't have any family here, and a friend of mine a couple friend of mine, same thing, they didn't have family, they didn't have kids, and they said, why don't you come out with us? And we went out to a very nice restaurant, dressed up. It was fabulous. The dinner was great, the company was great. Also, what's great about going out to eat is there is no prep. You don't have to clean the house, dust the walls, do the deep cleaning before you have guests over. You don't have to be buying food and planning your menu for 3 days beforehand, dealing with the grocery store and the parking. And then you don't have to cook for hours on end, and then entertain your guests as they come, and then clean up the mess after they've left. That's a lot of work. Hosting Thanksgiving is a lot. I forgot to do my concealer. So, if you don't like that gothic look underneath your eyes, do a little concealer. Brows. You guys, I'm so sorry that I kind of forgot about the brows and the under eyes, so you didn't get the family look entirely, but you get the idea, I hope. All right, so here it is. It's the restaurant look. You're going out for Thanksgiving. And I think I punched in 3 looks. They're very similar, of course. It's not 3 different looks. It's more like 3 variations or 3 intensities of a look using a palette that you probably have, the Renaissance palette. So we are giving thanks for things that we have and making use of them, giving them some love. 3 intensities of looks. We're only using this eyes, cheeks, lips, which is kind of ingenious. You want to go in for a color that's a little darker on the lips, you could do this. If you want to lighten it up, you could go with something like this. You can do anything you want with powders. I am back. I've been editing, and I realized that I really kind of missed it on the 3rd look. I think that's because the 2nd look and the 3rd look kind of morphed into each other, and I think that's because I became a little distracted on my train because I forgot to do my eyebrows, and I forgot to do my mascara, and I forgot to do my concealer for look 1. So here are some things that I would do with this palette to punch it up for the 3rd look going out to a restaurant. There are 2 really pretty shades in this one and this one. And there you go. Hopefully you can see those. And those would be great inner corner or inner third on the upper or inner third on the lower, which is a look I really like to do. Another thing you can do is put a little bit of eyeshadow, maybe the first one that I went in with, underneath the eyes. Now, personally, I don't do this, but that's just because I have so much going on under the eyes. I've got puffiness, I've got crepiness, I've got wrinkles, and I've got darkness, and I don't want to have eyeshadow down there most of the time. But on many, many, many people, it looks beautiful. So that's another thing you can do. And the last thing you can do is pull out something else you probably have, if you have it, and that is one of the Stila glitters. Take a little bit, put it on your finger, get a very small brush, and just put a touch of it right on the inner, right at the top, or a touch right here. A little bit. This is Thanksgiving, it's not a club situation. And there you go. Now I'm going to take you back to the regularly scheduled video. Kind of FYI, do check the Anastasia Beverly Hills website because I think they're doing a special where you can get 2 palettes of 3 in the range that you're allowed to get. I think it's this one, the Soft Glam, and the Sultry. And you can get 2 of those 3 for almost the price of one of these. I think the price of one of these plus $5 or $6, which is a very, very good deal if you don't have these already. And I just did something on Soft Glam last week. Now you've seen this. I don't have the Sultry, but I think these are both really good palettes. I think the Soft Glam is really versatile too. and this one is really fun. And while we're talking about thanks, I want to give thanks to you for being here. I know that this week is going to be hectic for everybody. Whether you're working, you have a home, you have kids, you're hosting, or you're going to Thanksgiving, there's shopping to do and there's the sales coming afterwards, and I get it. So thank you so much for being here. And I hope that I was able to offer you some ideas, maybe some things you hadn't thought about before. And if nothing else, I hope that I've given you a little bit of distraction when you feel like there's so much going on, you just need to veg out for a while. I am here to offer that for you. And that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. In the meantime, I'm wishing you a great day.